We're going to continue now with what we were doing before on this Reader's Digest Bible Through the Ages. And what I'm going to do this time, different than what I did last time, this will be Bible Through the Ages number 2, and it will be in the seminary folder. But what I'm going to do this time is read you the actual subjects that are done under each section. We'll see how much we can get done with this. So we're going to start with part 1, the oral tradition. And I'll tell you what's under the oral tradition. So this is what's under the oral tradition section. It says here, timeline, 400 BC to 1010 BC. The world of the patriarchs. Patriarchs' clans on the Fertile Crescent. Everyday life in Sumer. Abraham and his God. Storytelling and the oral tradition. Stories in the oral tradition. A tale within a tale. The birth of writing. The development of cuneiform. Egyptian sojourn, the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Papyrus, Egyptian gift to writers. The making of papyrus. Moses in Egypt, from Israel to Egypt, song of praise and of faith in a single God. Moses and the law, the oral law. Companions in the promised land, excerpts from the Song of Deborah. All right, that's in the oral tradition. Now, part 2 is called the written word. This is a timeline from 1010 BC to 65 BC. First subject is the mighty kingdom, poetry in the Old Testament, poetry of love and sadness, David and the Psalms, the temple and worship, autumn festival, words of wisdom from Israel and Egypt, language of the Old Testament, the divided kingdom, who were the prophets, voice of the 12, the oracle of Isaiah, Baruch and Jeremiah, the seal of Jeremiah's scribe, the writing craft, making of parchment, the Babylonian captivity, Ezekiel, the voice of exile, shaping the Pentateuch, mystery of the doublets, the tapestry of words, Ezra, the second lawgiver, a decree in Cyrus, the chronicler, tales that inspire, making of the Septuagint, Alexandria, the Samaritan Pentateuch, defining Daniel, choosing the 24 books of the Hebrew Bible, what was left out, Qumran and the Dead Sea Scrolls, last days of Qumran, St. John the Baptist, was he an Essene, discovering the scrolls, a picture essay. Then part 3, the words of the new faith. This one will go from 65 BC to 400 AD. This begins with the world of Jesus, Jesus and Roman Judea, the life and ministry of Jesus, Jesus and the Hebrew Scripture, reading the good news, the ministry of Philip, apostles to the Gentile world, martyrdom of the apostles, later writings of the first century, the letters of Paul to Philemon, Thessalonians and Galatians, Corinthians and Philippians, Timothy and Titus, Romans, Colossians, Ephesians. Who wrote the other epistles? Telling the story of Jesus, the Gospel of Thomas, language of the New Testament, the Gospel of Mark, the Gospel of Matthew, the Gospel of Luke and Acts, the use of Mark's Gospel in Matthew and Luke, the Gospel and letters of John. Was there a sign source present at the Apocalypse of Peter, Josephus, testimony on Jesus, shaping the Mishnah, the Talmud, inventing of the book, the 4th century Codex, Apostolic Fathers, collected works, the role of the Bible in early Christian worship, Christian instruction,